Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful recap is finally in for Monday, August 4, 2025. In today's episode, Liam Spencer's, Scott Clifton, medical records are deleted. Meanwhile, someone keeps harassing Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, and her daughters. At the fountain, Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, tries to talk to Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. The designer admits he wasn't very nice to her and it's his fault. Ridge will always love her. The blonde feels the same way. Is that all he has to say to her? As Ridge keeps apologizing, Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, shows up. The seaman reminds Brooke that they have plans. As they walk off, Ridge scowls. A bit later, Nick and Brooke stroll the streets. When they get to the boat, Nick asks if she's ready for an adventure. At the hotel room, Eric Forrester, John McCook, tries to find Ridge, but he's gone. Donna Logan, Jennifer Carisse, calls to see how everything is going. The patriarch tells her that Nick has an engagement ring for Brooke. Donna pleads with him to find Ridge right now. Ridge enters and informs his father that he apologized, but Brooke still left with Nick. Eric is shocked that Ridge let them leave the Bill Spencer's, Don Diamond, house. John, Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin arrives to check on Liam. The publishing mogul gushes about Grace pulling off a miracle. Finn asks if Grace has mentioned physical therapy. The doctor never mentioned it. Bill reasons it's another miracle. Finn has questions and this procedure could change how they treat cancer. However, he's never heard of it. Bill thinks they were lucky. Liam remarks that he's glad he's better, even if he was a lab rat. It only cost Bill $1 million. When Finn hears this, he's rattled. Bill isn't sure who the money went to, he just needed to save Liam. They discuss Reese Buckingham's, last played by Wayne Brady, actions and how it was to pay off a gambling debt. Finn exits and Bill lectures his son about recovering properly. Over at the hospital, Grace yells at someone on the phone. Aha, my theory was right, her daughters are involved somehow. Grace orders the person on the phone to never come near her or her daughters again. Grace calls Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, who is in France with Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson. Then she deletes Liam's medical record. Doesn't she want to call her other daughter, Zoe Buckingham, last played by Kiara Barnes? I guess not. Meanwhile, Finn goes to his own office and makes some phone calls about Liam's medical files. They have suddenly vanished. The doctor then goes to Grace's office. The man tells his colleague about Bill paying to save Liam's life. What is going on? Opening scene. Forrester Creations, Morning Storm Brewing. The morning sun barely had time to cast its golden rays across the LA skyline before a storm gathered in the sleek halls of Forrester Creations. Behind closed doors, secrets were no longer whispers. They were thunderclouds threatening to unleash a flood. In the executive office, Ridge Forrester stood at the whiteboard, reviewing designs. But his mind wasn't on the fabrics or lines, it was on Brooke, whose sudden absence this morning was more than strange. She hadn't answered his calls or texts, and her assistant said she left early for a personal matter. Ridge's instincts hummed, something was off. Meanwhile, Steffi Forrester stood near the coffee station, eyes narrowed. She watched as Finn entered the office, his expression unreadable. You look like you haven't slept, she remarked. Finn nodded slowly. I didn't. Something happened at the hospital last night. Something serious. Scene 2. University Hospital, Truth Erased. At University Hospital, chaos brewed beneath a calm facade. Dr. John, Finn Finnegan, had barely sat down at his desk before the news hit him like a slap. Luna had shown up in the middle of the night, distraught, searching for her mother Grace. What she discovered was worse than any nightmare. Grace's entire medical record had been wiped from the system. Erased. As if she had never been a patient there at all. Gone. Finn's voice echoed in the corridor as Luna trembled in front of him. What do you mean gone? I mean, it's all deleted, Finn. Every appointment, every prescription, even her scans. The hospital database shows no history. I asked the head nurse. She told me it must be a system glitch. Finn shook his head. No, this wasn't a glitch. This was deliberate. He pulled up his login, trying to override the restricted access. But when he reached for Grace's name, he too was denied. Unauthorized. Who could have done this? Who had the power to erase a patient's records so thoroughly? Scene 3. At Brooke's house, a heartbreaking discovery. Brooke Logan had been the first to know something was wrong. Grace hadn't returned her call from Friday. Then she missed a scheduled check-in. Concerned, Brooke stopped by Grace's apartment and was horrified by what she found. The door had been left ajar. Inside, the apartment looked ransacked. A broken glass table, scattered prescription bottles, an overturned chair. But no sign of Grace. Brooke's hands trembled as she picked up a framed photo of Grace and Luna, shattered on the floor. She dialed Ridge, but the call went to voicemail. Then she texted Finn, simply, "Grace is missing. Something is wrong." As she waited for the police, Brooke noticed something else, an envelope hidden beneath a stack of mail. On it was scribbled, "If something happens to me, read this." Inside, a note, written in Grace's handwriting. "There are people watching me. The truth about what happened to me, to Luna, even to Steffi, it's all connected. I fear someone inside the hospital wants me gone. They erased my past, and they're not finished yet." Brooke's eyes filled with tears. Oh, Grace. Scene 4. Steffi vs. Luna. Clash in the halls. Back at Forrester, Steffi confronted Luna just outside the design wing. The air snapped with tension. "Where's your mother?" Steffi asked sharply. "I heard she missed her appointment with Eric. He's not doing well, and she just disappears." Luna looked shaken, but defiant. "Grace didn't run away. She's missing. Her apartment was trashed. And someone deleted her medical records. You think that's a coincidence?" Steffi's lips parted slightly, surprise flickering through her icy demeanor. Finn arrived just in time to catch the end of the argument. "Steffi, back off," he warned. "Luna's mother might be in real danger. You don't think I care about that?" Steffi shot back. "But you can't ignore the fact that wherever Grace goes, drama follows." Luna stepped forward. "Maybe that drama has more to do with you than her." "Excuse me," Finn intervened. "Enough. Right now, someone covered their tracks by erasing a woman's medical identity. I need both of you focused. If Grace is in trouble, every minute counts." Scene 5. Nick Morone's office. The plan unfolds. Elsewhere in the city, Nick Morone sat behind his desk, sipping espresso and staring at a wall of surveillance images. His private investigator had delivered the shocking truth over the weekend. Grace Buckingham had been followed for weeks by men linked to a corporate entity that once had ties to Sheila Carter. Nick's jaw clenched. He'd suspected that someone was trying to discredit Grace, maybe because of what she knew about Luna's paternity, or perhaps because of the hospital trials she worked on. But this, erasing her records, threatening her daughter, unforgivable. Nick made a decision. He picked up his phone and called Eric Forrester. "We need to talk," he said. "Privately. It's about Grace, and something that goes deeper than we thought." Scene 6. Eric's office. Legacy on the line. Eric Forrester, looking increasingly frail but sharp as ever, leaned back in his chair as Nick laid out the findings. His expression darkened as Nick explained the surveillance, the deleted files, the handwriting in the note Brooke found. "Are you saying this is tied to the hospital?" Eric asked. "I'm saying someone wants her gone, and they're willing to destroy her professionally and personally to do it." Eric nodded grimly. "We can't let that happen." Nick agreed. "And I need your help." Together, they devised a plan. Use Forrester's influence to call for an internal investigation at the hospital. Eric would reach out to the board. Meanwhile, Nick would trace the paper trail, whatever was left of it. Scene 7. Sheila's shadow. Far from the glitz of Forrester or the sterile walls of the hospital, in a dim, windowless room, a woman paced. Her face obscured by shadows, but her voice unmistakable. Sheila Carter. Grace was always too curious for her own good, she said to an unseen figure. Now she's a problem. The man beside her, wearing a lab coat and a hospital badge, spoke quietly. We wiped her records like you asked. But the daughter's causing waves. She'll fall in line, Sheila said coldly, or she'll fall altogether. Scene 8. Ridge and Brooke. No more secrets. That evening, Ridge finally reached Brooke. She recounted everything. Grace's missing records, the ransacked apartment, the chilling note. I should have listened when she said someone was following her. Brooke said, voice breaking. We were too focused on Eric and Ridge, now she's gone. Ridge held her close. We'll find her, I promise. And whoever did this, they're going to regret ever touching Grace. Scene 9. Finn's discovery. Back at the hospital, Finn didn't give up. He worked past midnight, breaking through firewalls, risking his career. Finally, buried in a digital archive, he found it, a backup log. Grace's files weren't gone, they were hidden. And one note in particular caught his attention. Patient exhibited memory irregularities. Medication not prescribed. Finn's blood ran cold. Grace had been drugged without documentation. He immediately called Ridge and Brooke. I found something, and it changes everything. Final scene. A knock at the door. At Luna's apartment, a soft knock echoed through the still night. She opened the door slowly and gasped. Standing there, bruised and wide-eyed, was Grace. Mom. Grace stumbled inside, collapsing in Luna's arms. They tried to erase me, but I got away. Whoa. Luna cried. Grace whispered, Sheila, she's back, and she's not alone. Fade to black. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and BAUTFUL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.